morning, guys. Welcome to day 3 of Level Up with Coach Matt. And you guys can see I've got the Rode wireless mic on this morning, so we'll see how the audio quality is on that versus just being out in the kitchen here without it. Hopefully you guys can hear the sound better and doesn't pick up as much background stuff from the dogs or whatever else will happen in the house this morning as it's busy. So today we are going to be talking about, and I'll be showing you guys Big Blue, which is my truck. And I mentioned in the day 2 video that this is the first truck I've ever personally owned. I've obviously driven other trucks for work and, had them, done things with different friends and been in them, but this is the first one I've ever owned. And so I want to tell you guys a story about this. And first of all, this truck is extremely, extremely meaningful to me. And it's meaningful to me for a number of reasons. So a number of years ago, I went through a very hard time in my life financially and credit-wise. And I came out of that period of my life with a very bad credit score. My credit score was around 430, which if anybody knows anything about credit is horrible. I'd had my student loans charge off, not being able to pay them on time, and I had back taxes. And my goal over the last 4 years was to not have any more late payments and to just get everything paid up and current as much as possible, and then just start to pay things off with a method called the snowball method. If you don't know what the snowball method is, that is a method that Dave Ramsey talks about all the time. I'm not sure if he came up with it, but he talks about it a lot. It's basically you list all your debts out from smallest to largest. Then what you do is you make the minimum payments on everything, and any extra money you have every month, you apply it to the smallest debt. And then that debt will get paid off fastest. Then it goes off, and then you move to the next one, the next one, the next one, the next one. And in addition to being a quick way to eliminate the small debts and get them off, it's also psychologically very beneficial because it allows you to get things crossed off and not have them on your heart, on your mind, on your back anymore. It's just done. And I started to apply that method, and I put Credit Karma, the free app, on my phone, and I put the Experian app on my phone, and I went through and disputed any charges on those apps that weren't correct or credit inquiry things. And then I just watched both of those apps every day for 4 years, and I just vowed not to have any late payments on anything, and I was able to get my credit from that low of a level to up over 750. On one of them, there's 3 major credit bureaus. One of them's 780, one of them's 750, and one of them's like 760. So that took 4 years of me doing that, and also getting 3 cards, all of that had a low balance, and then one was just for lunches at work, one was for groceries, and one was for gas. And I wasn't even waiting until the end of the month to pay them off. As soon as I put the charge on there, the next day usually takes 24 hours on your phone app for the charge to show up on your phone. So I'd watch all those 3 cards every day. When I went through and read my emails in the morning, I always went to my credit stuff and my cards first. I just pay them off the next day. Boom. So I never carried any balance. So very quickly I was eliminating small debts, having 0 credit card balances, and was able to fix my credit up. Well, during that time, you can imagine I'm a big guy, and I was very chubby at that time. I had to buy a little Ford Focus for 10 grand that was used. But I think it was 11 grand in total, and only had 5,000 miles on it. My son was selling cars at a dealership at the time as he was starting another business. This is like his steady job, and then he was working on his hustle over here. And so he got it for me. He's like, Dad, this car just came in. It's like, it's really cheap, and it's only got 5,000 miles. You want to come in and see it? I'm like, I don't think I can fit in a Focus, buddy. I'm too big. I'm 6'2". At the time, I was like 250 or 260. And he was like, let me go sit in. He's like, it's actually tall enough. The seat's really low. I went and got in. I'm like, it'll be tight, but I can do this. So I drove that car for 3 years in order to have a tiny payment and to get my credit fixed up. Then I had been thinking for a long time about what I wanted in a car. I had been playing with thinking about I should get something reliable. I thought, why don't I get something I can at least step up into as a bigger guy? Why don't I get a Honda? And I like the SUV that they had. It was called the CRV, and I found out about the powertrain, and it's very similar all around to the Accord, but it's in an SUV form, so I thought that'd be perfect for me. And then my mind kind of grew over the course of that 4 years of what I wanted. I'd looked at trucks and I was like, I had started a couple of years ago on testosterone replacement therapy through my doctor, and I was becoming more masculine again. I was learning to say no. I was learning to stand up for myself in this time and feel good about myself. And I'd started lifting again, all these kind of things that you can do as a guy to kind of, rehab yourself and feel the best that you can be. And in the course of this, I decided I wanted a truck instead. And I knew financially from where I was at the time, I couldn't afford a new truck. And so I thought, well, I had done a lot of research, and the trucks that I liked the look of best was the Chevy Silverado. And I wanted to get a Silverado. I think the Silverado was top for like a year in my mind in this 4-year period. But then I'd done a lot of research that said that usually around 150, 160,000 miles, you're going to have to like replace the transmission. It was going to be at least $3 or $4 grand. It was going to be a substantial thing that was like a very common cost. And I actually wanted to get a Toyota Tundra because of the reliability. Toyotas and Hondas tend to go about twice as far as American cars. And I thought, well, if I'm going to get a truck, why don't I have one that's actually going to last and I can maintain it and take care of it? And so I was like, okay, that's a more smart financial choice for me. But I didn't like the way a lot of the Tundras look. They look bubbly and just not tough and all this stuff. And I knew I wanted a black truck. And I'd seen like the black Silverado, like shiny black Silverado, big black tires. Was like, that was what was in my mind. There is a very popular bodybuilder and fitness celebrity out here in Southern California. I think his real name is Jake Johns, but I think he goes by Big SC Boy. He's a super popular guy on social media and absolutely giant man and very friendly in person. I used to see him at a gym that I worked out at called Kratos in Lake Forest, California. He's very approachable, very, very cool dude every time I met him, but monstrously strong human being. And he had this jacked black truck at the time that was just amazing. It was huge. And like that was what was set in mind. I was going to get that. But honestly, I knew that money-wise, where I was at with my payment, what it was going to have to be, I was like, okay, I can't afford a new truck. And the new Tundra is actually, I think, like 22 to 24 at the time, had some of the first ever recalls. They had a problem with something had gotten in the engine, some kind of engine dust, and they had done a bunch of recalls. So that was okay with me. I didn't get those years anyway. I was going to need to get an older one, and or a Silverado or whatever I was going to do. But I wanted something that was under 50,000 miles, and I needed it to be about under $35,000. That's what I could afford when I wrote out the payment. And so I kind of put those parameters in my mind, and that's what I started to search for when I was ready to buy. And my son, who had lived with me for a number of years, did the coolest thing. I hadn't charged him rent, and he lived with me for several years where he started his business. And he's like, "Need help with the down payment, Dad?" And I was like, I got about $5,000 I can put down, buddy. Yeah, and he's 25 or something at the time. And he came through and he's like, I'm gonna match you. I'll give you $5 grand cash to put down on it. And I was like, thanks, buddy, but you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, you put me up, no rent for like 2 years, and my mid-20s, like the business started. And so he's like, I want to do that for you. And I was like, that's super fucking cool. That's when you like did your best. I don't know if you raise your kids right or not, but all you can do is try. You just try as hard as you can to be a good person and teach them shit, right? And so he did that for me. So I was able to, in total, put 10 grand down on the truck. And we had been looking, but I hadn't been able to find anything that was right. And then I actually went to a search query for another truck, and on the top populated, my girlfriend had showed me, hey, there's one on top. It's not what you were searching for, but it's like on the top of the search query. And it was a blue Toyota Tundra 2017, and it had these big black accents on it and big black mutter tires. And this thing looked fucking beautiful. And in 17 back then, that year, the trucks for the Tundras were not so bubbly. They were much like tougher looking. And I was kind of getting tougher looking at the time. I got my goatee growing in, I was getting some muscles. This is who I wanted to be. This is my midlife crisis, my midlife happiness, whatever you want to call it, at 45 years old. And so I went and looked at it, and I could just barely afford it. And then I had this thing in my mind, I was like, well, it's got, almost 50,000 miles. And I was like, yeah, but it's a Toyota Tundra. It's a Toyota. I was like, if I take care of it, the thing will go to 300,000 or 400,000 miles. So it's going to be the same as any other truck. It's basically new, only 50,000 miles on the Toyota, right? So I was like, all right, we're going to do this. And I got the truck, and it was lifted. It was jacked. It had these cool aftermarket lights. Good morning, Arnold. Oh, a big boy just came in. And it was just beautiful to drive. It did have a bit of a wobble though, because it had mudders on it, like big chunky mudders. So I would drive that thing around, and even the straight back window goes down, and then I put it down and put my Bluetooth on and blast my music. I felt like I was 20 years old again. I fucking love this truck. So I nicknamed it lovingly Big Blue. And today I'm going to go over to the car wash that's down the street here and get it washed and then show it to you guys. And then I might have to shoot some footage late at night too, because it's got some cool lighting effects in the front. So when it gets dark, I'll try to show you those tonight too and put it all in a video together. But I don't want to show them to you guys until I get him cleaned up and he's looking his best. So he's been a beautiful truck, and I love it. It makes me so happy. And right in the middle of the video, Arnold, a good time to stop this clip, because Arnold came in, he's rolling himself around on the dog bed and grunting and scratching his back. So that'll be the video today, guys. And then we're going to go over after this. Right now, I'm about to head out for my walk, come back, make my shake and bagel. I'm very consistent on my nutrition. That's the thing that has allowed me to stay in the best shape. And then in my walks too. And then we're going to go work out legs today at Metroflex Long Beach. And because of my back injury, if anybody listened to that day 2 episode, I am 10 months now post back. So I'm slowly putting one free weight movement back in at a time, but I'm not back to where I'm doing squats yet. So the exercise order today is probably going to be hamstrings first, because I tend, knees, older guy, like I want to make sure my knees are warmed up and good, and kind of pre-exhaust as well. So I'll probably do lying leg curls and seated leg curls, and then the inner thigh machine. And then I'm not back to stiff leg deadlifts yet. And then quads are going to be leg extensions. These are such a brutal thing. I could do a whole video just talking about why these are so important to me. Walking lunges, and then finish off with high rep seated leg press with the pin loaded leg press, so I can do a drop set. And so that'll be 18 sets to failure, and all of them will be 8 to 12 rep range, except for the leg press, and that'll be in the 10 to 20 range, usually closer to 15 to 20 guys. But I'm gonna go out and do my walk, and then we'll get back and start with breakfast. Matthew and I just got a fresh cut. Matthew has some fucking eyebrow slits. What are these called?
Yeah, eyebrow slits.
Eyebrow slits, and what's the top called?
Just like
fringe or something?
Yeah,
fringe with like a fade on the side. I don't know these things. Like, I'm apparently old. I don't know the names of these things. My hair is just growing back out from when we buzzed it because of the botched hair color experiment. So like, I got this cleaned up, and at least got this cleaned up at least, and it's growing back in. But it's so dark up here, guys, where the hair transplant here is versus the side hair. It's kind of funny, but whatever. It'll blend itself hopefully eventually. So we are headed to the gym, and if we have time today, because Matthew has volleyball practice today, so we're supposed to lift and then go hit the car wash to get Big Blue here washed and do this episode. And I'm on the gym train right now today for a leg day. So the agenda again is lying leg curls, seated leg curls, inner thigh for hammies, and then the leg extension, walking lunges, seated leg press for quads. What are you doing today, buddy?
Probably lats and back.
Do some back?
Yeah.
We gonna do some pull downs?
Probably pull downs, flaps.
Okay.
And maybe some deadlifts.
Maybe some deadlifts too?
Yeah.
If you feel up to it, nice, buddy. All right, cool, guys. Well, let's hit Metroflex and get this workout started. This has always been my favorite exercise for hamstrings, because this is the movement that I had with my dad's weeder set, that the plates were filled with sand down in the basement when I was a kid. And so I've always had this movement, a leg extension, that was plopped to the front of the adjustable bench, if anybody's ever seen those like home sets that they sell at Walmart or Target. And it's still one of my favorite movements. And I'm just going to do straight sets on these, but on the end of each set, I'll try to get a partial and a quarter rep if I can. Try to just keep going with partials until I really can't move the weight at all. This is always my second exercise, guys. It doesn't stretch quite as much as the lying leg curl does, but the contraction can be even better if you can get it. I have to be careful not to go too heavy with this one, or I kind of lose that contraction, because I can move a lot more than I can squeeze. So I try to keep the weight moderate so I can get a good squeeze on it. I do inner thigh machine on hamstrings because it gives me a third exercise that I can get done with them. I'm not doing stiff leg deadlifts yet or Romanian deadlifts because I'm still recovering from my lower back injury. I am doing reverse hypers to rehab my back, and so I'm trying to add one movement at a time. I already put rows back in, all that type of stuff as I'm adding stuff in, but I'm adding stuff in and then observing afterwards the results to see what hurts on my body after I do it, or if there's any pain or if there's anything like that, discomfort, because I'm trying to figure out which exercises might aggravate it. And so this is the third movement usually for me in my rotation on leg day, right before I go over to leg extensions to start quads. And I do kind of stand up to be able to get this open as far as I can possibly get it so I get the best possible stretch. And I will try to do partials at the end of this set, or a drop set on the final one if that's preferable to you. I like partials where I can get them in because it doesn't mean I have to don't change the weight then. So the majority of the time, anytime I'm doing quads, I start off with leg extensions. Number one, to both warm up the knees, and then number two, also so that I can pre-exhaust the quads so I don't have to use as much other muscles in the movements, and that the quads are worked maximally without my hamstrings, my lower back, anything taken over when I get to compound movements. So that's why I like to start with leg extensions. And same thing is with leg curls. I'll just do partials on the end of these sets to get as many reps as I can. Ooh. That is the toughest leg exercise that there is, other than maybe squats, guys. Nothing else will give you great legs as fast as walking lunges. This is the seated leg press machine. You can tell how old this is by the fact that it's got a tan pad, which was cool in like the early 80s, guys. But I like this one a lot. Number one, because the regular 45-degree angled leg press is a little bit rough on my lower back, still pulling my knees into my chest. This one doesn't curl me up as much, and I can get my knees all the way back into my armpits with no problem. And because it's pin loaded, I can do a drop set really easy without having to get up and pull off plates. So I like it better that, at least until I can use a whole stack on this at least. So this one I really enjoy doing, and I do this higher reps. This is the only exercise in the workout that I do for higher reps than 8 to 12. I try to keep it into 15 to 20, but I'm pretty burnt by the end of the workout, so we'll see how many I can get. And again, I'm trying to get wide, not just a narrow stance, for the purpose of being able to get my knees back, so my toes are going to be slightly out for that purpose as well, so I can get as deep as possible. And then the last one on this will be a drop set, and then that's it for the leg workout, guys. All right, guys, legs are done, and we got a busy ass day. We got just enough time. Drive over to the car wash, get the truck done. This car wash near us is 41 bucks to do the outside, vacuum everything on the inside, and then to also do like all the Armor All and all that kind of stuff. Did a really good job last time, so I'm gonna go back. And they got a place called Tommy's right next to it. It's like burgers, tacos, like kind of like diner food basically. So we'll go grub over there, dork around on our phones and iPads and stuff until truck is done. So I have to sit out in the sun waiting for it, and then head home. Just enough time after that to hit showers. Well, shower for me. You get a shower before volleyball or after? Probably after. Yeah. Before volleyball or after? I don't know. Okay. So go in. I'm gonna hit a shower anyway, and then take Matthew to his volleyball practice, and that'll be from like 5:30 to 6:30, and then we'll probably head home for some late dinner afterwards. So should be good. But I had a really solid leg workout today, guys. Got all of my movements in that I wanted to do. They were out of order because some people were dorking around on the machines, just not even working out, but like sitting and having conversations with her on their phone. Generally, Metroflex is not like that, though. It's a really good gym environment usually. Anyway, so got a great workout in. Legs are really cooked. I was not particularly strong today, but that happens. Some days you're strong, some days you're not. Some days you just get through the workout, and that was kind of what today was. What did you do today, Maddie, on legs?
I was mainly doing back.
Oh, okay.
But then I switched towards the end to legs.
What did you do for back?
Flaps. Deadlifts. Flaps, deadlifts. What else? That's pretty much it for back.
And then what about legs? I saw you doing some squats with the squat rack bar.
Yeah, squats, leg press, leg curls.
Leg curls?
Leg curls.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Nice. Yeah, I had a good workout overall. So, all right, guys, we'll head to the car wash, and then I'm gonna show you guys, hopefully Big Blue, when it's all cleaned up and looking his best. Is already, let's see, 2017, we're in 26 right now, so almost coming up on 10 years old. And right now,
He's got 71,396 miles. So hoping to drive this bad boy until 300,000 or 400,000 miles if I can keep it up good. That's the goal, right?
Yep.
Drive it for a long time, take good care of it, have a great old truck. So I'm not a fancy guy, no matter how much I make in the future, guys. I really can't see myself buying anything more expensive. This is like the most fucking comfortable vehicle I've ever been in. This is the extended, or the crew cab, right?
Yeah.
It's called the crew cab. So it's got the biggest back seats. Like I could even be in there. Yeah, I can be in there with, you know, being 6'2" and not be squished up at all. It's very roomy, very comfortable. And the bed's not quite as long. It's not a short bed, but it's just a standard bed on the back. And I preferred that over, you know, having the extra long bed is having the crew cab, so I can have room back there, especially when we want to pile a bunch of people in here. It's a great vehicle for long drives, and this middle section here that I'll show you when we get in folds down so you can put your arm on it. So it's basically a recliner in a truck. Like, it's very comfortable. I think it's the most comfortable vehicle we've ever had, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super comfortable. So it's just very laid back to be in here. I really love it. And yeah, it's a 2017 Toyota Tundra crew cab. So let's go get her cleaned up. All right, we got Mr. Matthew's taco plate there. And then we got Dad's taco plate right here. About to throw down on this. Okay guys, so I promised to show you guys Big Blue, which is my truck. I just had it cleaned and I fucking love this truck. I don't care that it's used. I don't care that I bought it. It's almost 10 years old now. I don't care that it had 50,000 miles on it when I got it. It's a Toyota. It's basically new to me. So it's really my first truck, and I had to work very hard on my credit to get it and save a lot to get it. So I'm very proud of it. So I'd like to show it to you now. So again, Blue is a 2017 Toyota Tundra crew cab. And I'll open it up here and show you. Now this, in the middle here, you'll see this is a bench seat actually that goes all the way across, but this can lay down and also has storage underneath there. And so it's very roomy, cloth seats, which is what I prefer too. I probably couldn't afford leather if I wanted. It's very super comfortable. And then this is the crew cab. So you guys can see there's a ton of room in the back seat. 6 foot tall people have no problem back there. And then it's got a regular size bed. And it's a little bit lifted wheels. These are all-terrain wheels as opposed to mudders, which it had when I first got it, but those were terrible with both road noise and with shakes. So like, it's just a beautiful truck. We just had it cleaned over at the car wash. And this is one of those things in life where it doesn't matter if things are new or expensive to other people. When you have to work for them and you have to earn them, you're very proud of them. And although, like I said, this is a used truck, this is my truck, and I bought it and I saved for it and I worked for it, so it means that much more to me. And so yeah, I'm very proud of this truck and what went into it, and I think it means a lot more to me because I had to work for it.
That is a wrap for day 3 of Level Up with Coach Matt, guys. And you know, shooting this episode today and talking about a few years ago where I was at, where I was in a much worse state than I am right now. I had, you know, the bad credit, I had the overweight status that I had. And then coming out of it, fixing my credit, fixing my weight, you know, living through getting for 2 to 3 years in a tiny Ford Focus as a 6'2" guy. And then coming out the other side with having my truck, being fit, having good credit, all that stuff. It just kind of reminded me of some of the tough times that kind of already put out of the back of my mind. And so I just want to encourage you guys that if you are having a rough period in your life right now too, this is really a temporary thing. But you really won't get out of it unless you plan to get out of it. Meaning, like, you specifically have a goal, and you're like, this is where I'm at now, and this is where I want to be when it's finished. And then if you sit down and write that out, and you write down all the steps to achieve that goal underneath it, you know, just that process will get the whole movement so solidified in your mind that you're able to accomplish anything. I had read this book by a former president, And he was talking about one of the tools in his life was this small book that he read when he was young, and that he still had it. And he was saying that the concept of the book was very simple. It's what I just talked about. It's like you write down your goal, you write down all the steps to achieve it underneath it. That forms a blueprint in your mind. It forms a game plan that you can work towards. Now, what you find in that process is that you'll accomplish a lot of those steps. Some of them will be completely thrown out and you won't need them. You'll have to add some other ones, and you'll get some like weird things along the way that you didn't expect. But you're so much further ahead of anybody else that didn't sit down and write it out and think through it. And having that there, I find that most of the goals I've ever done this process with, I do eventually achieve. And I achieve it just through constant work towards that end, whatever that looks like. Sometimes the work is messy. Sometimes you just completely fuck it up. And sometimes it's just, you have to fail at it multiple times to get there. But you learn as you get older, guys, that failure is a part of the process of success. It's not the opposite. Quitting is the opposite of success, not failure. Failure is a step in the journey to reaching your success. And when younger people come up to me for advice, one of the things I'll tell them is that I have failed far more times than most people have tried. And through all the things that I've been able to either completely ruin my life with, or that I've been able to have some massive success with, it came down to really, just being willing to try and fail where other people wouldn't even try. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that, because you have no idea what you can accomplish, and the limitations are usually mostly in your own mind. There's another saying, which is like, people get out of the way for somebody pursuing a goal. And I think it's really true. I've really found that in my life. If you have something in your mind that you want to do it, and people are temporarily butting up against it, you will get there. You just have to keep pushing. So that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about this morning. And, it was a great day 3 for Level Up with Coach Matt. I'm proud of this episode. And I just want to encourage you guys one more time. I decided to do both a call to action and to close my videos the same. And that call to action is join up on our Skool Community. If you need any help with fitness, or you just want support in your life in a positive environment, it's free. The link is down in the description and pinned in the first comment. And then also is that in your life to take care of yourself first, so that you can be the best version of yourself, so that you can take care of the people that you love, because you'll have the strength to do so. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you for day 4 in the next video. And there we are going to be doing a chest and abs workout, and we're also going to be talking about overcoming different disabilities that you might have in your life, and how you can turn some of those traits into superpowers that can make you really successful. So thanks for watching again, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.